Hello folks, this is Lula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from another double up game. I'm playing with Rienzo. Rienzo's actually been able to join us for some of our games that I would say are evening time, but it's evening time for those of us in North America, and Rienzo's in Australia, so Rienzo's actually been joining us mornings local time, but it's been great to have him joining us. Anyway, in this game, we're going to be playing a Duelist team composition. Duelist teams have been pretty popular, both in the patch that I'm playing this game on, which I think is the second patch, official patch of set 15, and it was also kind of really picked up in popularity towards the end of the previous patch. Basically, people figured out that if you play vertical Duelist, and in particular, if you play through Udyr, and Ash, that the team composition ends up being pretty strong. So we're going to look at an example of this. I wanted to feature this in at least one game. Ever since we did one of our Friday morning group double up games, and Antisocial Monkey played this board and just like absolutely ran over the whole lobby, and I was like, oh, well, I hadn't seen this build before. What the heck is going on here? But ever since I saw that, I wanted to have a chance to play this at least once or twice, do a game on YouTube featuring it. And that's what we're going to check out here. It also turned out to be a really close, really interesting game. So let's get to it. So I did manage to get a Viego on the first round of the game. Viego is a duelist, and that was something that pointed me a little bit in this direction from the very start, that I already had one of the 3-cost duelists that you can play in this team composition. And then I also had some Kales here as well. I was considering going for a Kale build, but unfortunately Kale is just not very strong in this particular patch. You can reroll for Kale, but they nerfed her since the earlier patch versions of set 15, and she's just not really a great unit. I'm sure she'll get buffed back into being a relevant unit again. So I wasn't really looking to go the Kale route. I was looking to do something a little bit different. So anyway, I'm keeping my eye out for that. I do get this Mulch here. I actually have a pretty good setup to play Wraith Kale, but I would end up not going in that direction. By the way, this is a 2-item start, so I actually have quite a bit of gold here out of the bank. Looking at the different options here, and I do see one that's kind of interesting. I'm going to end up taking Investment Strategy. Your champions gain 7 permanent max health per interest you earn. So this is a stacking augment, and it means that if units stay on my board, they can get up to, 7 gold times however much interest I have per round. There's a prismatic version of this as well, which is also can be quite strong. The problem is, if you take it as a prismatic, then I believe you can get, I think that the prismatic version is you can get 8 health per, 8 health per amount of interest, but you can also get interest up to 70 gold. And it's quite strong if you can get it stacked up. The problem is, in order to make it work, you kind of have to sit on over 70 gold, and it just takes so long to get up that high. Your board is just insanely weak for the early game. So anyway, we do not have the prismatic version of this. We have the gold version of it. We do not increase our income or our interest over 50 gold. We still have the normal 50 gold interest mechanic, but we can get up to 7 at health on all units on the board per interest. So if we have max interest, which is over 50 gold, we'll get 7 times 5. That is, 35? So we can get up to 35 health per round. Honestly, this is probably better as the gold version than the prismatic version. The prismatic version just puts you in such a gigantic hole out of the early game. It's really hard to come back from that. It does scale better, obviously, but it's just you are so weak if you take that as the prismatic version. Anyway, I am trying to play duelist units here. My board is not very good right now. At least I did manage to hit the 2-star Kale. So I'm kind of playing through that. The problem is Kale is just such a weak unit in the early game. She's really not the one that I'm looking to have here. But I will play through here for her for right now. And I desperately need to get a bow because I really need to make a Rage Blade. Obviously, Rage Blade is a super important item on Kale, but it's also a really good item on Ash. And I'm going to be trying to build Ash items because Ash is going to be the main carry on this board in the long run. Obviously, I have to get there first. I have just given Kale an economic power-up. Because Kale is not going to be a featured unit on this board long term, she's just going to be on this board as a trait bot. I have given her one where if she kills a unit, it has a chance to drop gold. I think she executes when they get low on health, and I think it's 25% chance to drop a gold coin. If she can just farm me 3 or 4 or 5 gold, that'll be worth it. By the way, I knew I was going to lose that round because the other player had a Rage Blade. I did not have a Rage Blade, so they were ramping up on damage. They actually have they took aura farming, and they have a 2-star TF on their bench, so they're going to go crew, and that actually makes a lot of sense that they would look to go crew. And Well, here we go. I get 2 Kaisas in my shop. Now, just like that, I have 2-star Kaisa, and I'm going to look to play through the Kaisa for the time being, because why play through Crummy Kale, who's really bad, until you can get her at least up to level 6, your champion level 6. I see, like, I'm just going to swap this power up. I'm just going to move it to the Kaisa, who's just a better unit. And what is it? I think I'm going to end up taking the Desperado after every 12 attacks, fire additional projectiles. I could have taken the one where after 80 attacks, she farms you some gold, and maybe that would have been better for better econ, but I don't know. I didn't want to lose too much health. Duelist boards are better for something like that. That one that gives you gold based on how many times you attack. You do want to play something like Duelist, whereby you get a lot of attack speed to make that one worthwhile. And it looks like I am going to win this round, so Kaisa's going to, take this one. And if I sell something, I can get to 20 gold. So yeah, I'm also off to a pretty good econ start here, which again is not bad because I want to get my units stacking via that investment strategy. The sooner I can get my key units on the board, the sooner they can start stacking up that health. And really the one that's most important to get is Udyr, because he's going to be my main tank. So I would really, really like to get an Udyr if possible. However, there is something I need on this carousel. There is a bow, and I desperately need this bow because I have to make a Rage Blade. Again, Ash's core items are Rage Blade and the Kraken Slayer. And I think if that's the name, it's Kraken something. I don't know if that's the exact title, because that gives her additional attack speed, and it also causes her AD to increase per auto attack. You stack those two together, and just like any other AD item is fine for the last slot, but you really want those two. So I'm going to look to go ahead and make the Rage Blade, because I have very, very, very little use for rods in this team composition. And oh, look at this. We hit the early Udyr. That is just absolutely fantastic. I also get a Viego Send coming over from Rienzo. And so we'll just move this item off of the Kale and over to the Kaisa. And this is great because now I have Udyr in from 2-5, and he's going to be stacking up health every single round for the rest of the game. All right, let's cover what Duelist Trait actually does while we have a minute here. So Duelist Trait's been around for a whole bunch of different TFT sets. It hasn't been in every set, but it's been very common. It's been in a whole bunch of different sets. And this trait overall just gives stacking attack speed. Every time your Duelists attack, they gain additional attack speed. Here in set 15, it can stack up to 12 times. So there's a limit to how much it can stack. By the way, unfortunately, my Kaisa got popped by their Callista over there. So that was a little bit unfortunate. But anyway, like I said, it is a stacking attack speed trait. At Duelist 2 in the current build, let's see, I'm looking at the cheat sheet here. Duelist 2 in the current build is 4% attack speed per attack, and I'm now up to Duelist 4. That's 7% attack speed per stack. So if that stacks 12 times, 12 times 7 is, 84? So I can get up to 84% attack speed. There's a big boost if you can get up to Duelist 6, and it's not the increased attack speed. Duelist 6 does give you 10% attack speed per stack, so that can go up to 120%. But the real bonus is Duelist 6 gives all the Duelists 12% damage reduction, and they kind of need that because Duelists are not a very tanky board. Like they're just not. My past self actually highlighted that very helpfully here. As you'd expect, Duelists are kind of frail units. They are like, as I said, there's been a number of traits like this in past sets. I'm thinking of, I'm trying to think of what the name it was. Challenger? I think I can't get the name right, but the one that was in set 6 where all the units would dash forward and reset every time they got a kill. Really, really fun trait. I wish I could remember the name of it off the top of my head. Challengers or something like that? I might be wrong on that. But basically, the way that the board works is you attack really fast and you do a lot of damage, but you are not tanky. So this is a glass cannon team composition, basically. Duelist 6 is really important because that 12% damage reduction means that your board can maybe take a hit or two without actually dying. And as I said, I'm in reasonably good shape here. Hitting the other Udyr is really nice. Now, if I can just hit Udyr 2-star, that would be a huge spike. And then I do have to get some actual items for Udyr as well. So Udyr is kind of the key unit in this team composition. It's a mixture of Udyr and Ashe. Ashe is the carry. She does a lot of damage, but like you'd expect that. If you have 6 Duelist in, Ashe is going to do a lot of damage, blah, blah, blah. Not really that surprising. Udyr kind of emerged, though, as the key unit in this team composition. And the main reason why is he is the tank. He is the one that makes this team composition work. And by the way, I got a Gangplank popping out, so that's another Duelist there. Very nice. And there's another bow that's really good, too. I also probably should have just slammed a Spirit Visage on the Udyr here, but I think I decided to wait and see what other items I could get. But I probably should have just slammed the Spirit Visage. It's not Udyr's best item, but it's like his like third or fourth best item. And considering I had the components, I probably should have just slammed that. You're also seeing on Rienzo's board, he is playing Kog'Maw in this game. He's playing Protector Cog. So he's just going to grab a whole bunch of Protector units and any Lulus that I can find. But anyway, as I was saying, Udyr is the main tank in this team composition. He has the Mentor bonus. He is a Duelist. He is Duelist plus Mentor and then also Juggernaut. So I do need to play one Juggernaut on the board alongside him. And I'm trying to remember if I sent... I will go ahead and put this bow on the Kaisa there. I'm trying to remember if I leveled here to put in this Vi. I probably should, just to get Juggernaut trait in, make my board a little bit tankier. I will put the Giant's Belt on Udyr, but I'm still only level 4 here, so I'm not in an especially strong position. I'm not really expecting to win these rounds. And this person over there on their Star Guardians board is level 5, so I don't know. Maybe, could I have won this round if I had leveled to 5? Probably I still would have lost this one, to be sure. So maybe it did make sense not to level here, because I probably still would have lost this round anyway. I'm able to kill a decent chunk of the board, but no. Level 4 board, not very strong on 3-1. Even though I have 2-starred everything except the Viego over there. All right, we are going to have another, another augment here as soon as this round comes to a close. It looks like Rienzo's got this round, so good job, Rienzo, picking us up in the mid game here because he hit his early cog. Wow, his cog needs a Rage Blade in the worst way as well. That cog desperately needs a Rage Blade. All right, anyway, augment time. I look at the different options here. It's definitely not a Golden Quest. It could be Water Lotus, which is not terrible here. We give my whole team the ability for their stuff to crit, but I'm going to go ahead and take that here. I think it's all right. I don't think that it's bad necessarily. So now I don't have to build critical strike chance, and my units can still crit on their abilities, and then they get mana regeneration as well. Again, this is better for an auto attack. It tends to be good on an auto attacking board because you're going to have more chances to crit on all those attacks. It does give the whole team additional crit chance. But it's not bad. I mean, it's not terrible on a spellcasting board either. Here I was trying to decide, I needed to play a Juggernaut. I didn't know if I wanted to play Mundo or Vi. Mundo is not going to have Luchador trait in. Vi's not going to have Crystal Gambit in. I'm not exactly sure which one is better to play here. So I think I just have the Mundo on the board for right now. Anyway, getting back to Udyr, as I said, he's kind of the unit that makes this team composition work. So obviously he has Duelist trait. So he's going to get the stacking attack speed. In addition, he has Juggernaut trait. And again, Juggernauts gain damage reduction. If you have 2 Juggernauts in, I believe they get 25% damage reduction when they're over half health. And then that falls when they drop under. It goes down to 15% when they're under half health. But yeah, they have 25% damage reduction when they're above half health. And then you get another 12% from the Duelist trait if you have Duelist 6 in. So that makes Udyr much tankier than other units. Now, the other thing, and of course he has the Mentor bonus as well, which gives a small amount of AD and AP to the whole team. What is his Mentor bonus? 8% attack damage and ability power. Okay, so it gives a small amount of AD and AP to the whole team. More significant, though, is the fact that he's got that Juggernaut trait. So again, damage reduction from Duelist 6, damage reduction from Juggernaut trait. And what people figured out is if you give him some very specific items and you turn him into a Colossal unit, which is one of the power-ups you can get, he just becomes insanely hard to kill. So the items that you want to put on him are, you want to get Sterix, which gives him the shield. When he gets, I think it's when they hit like 60% health, they get a big shield. You want to give him Titan's Resolve because that gives him additional armor and magic resistance, and it also makes him immune to crowd control once it's fully stacked up. And then you also want to give him Gargoyle Stoneplate because he's going to get focused by the enemy team, and he's going to get a lot of additional armor and magic resistance. Udyr's ability is when it goes off, he attacks 3 times, and he heals on each one of those attacks. So Spirit Visage is also quite good on him as well. But the Titan's Resolve will make it so he can't get crowd controlled, so he will keep getting those 3 attacks off and he'll keep healing. And he basically just gets so much health and damage reduction that it's just impossible to kill him until the whole Duelist board has scaled up with all their attack speed. And by the time that you've gotten through Udyr, the Ashe is like on 12 attack speed stacks, and Ashe is just murdering everyone. So that's the theory, is people are like, you can play Udyr, you try to 3-star him, and if you can give him that Colossal power-up, it just makes him so strong. The developers actually nerfed that power-up in this particular patch that we're on right now, But they didn't nerf it enough. It was actually even stronger in the previous patch, but like they basically didn't nerf it enough. It's still really good. So that's the direction we're going to be looking to go here. I took a cloak off the carousel. It wasn't exactly what I wanted in terms of champion because I only got a one cost Aatrox here. It's not going to sell for very much. But I did get the cloak I wanted. So now I have the Rage Blade and the Kraken Slayer, or whatever that item's called. Again, these items work really well. You get attack speed from Duelist trait. You get more attack speed from the Rage Blade. And then the Kraken Slayer gives you extra AD per auto attack. By the way, look at my board here. I have Udyr pair, Gangplank pair, and Vi pair. I also definitely need to level here. I don't really have a good unit to put in, unfortunately. Like the Kabako you would normally just put in as a splash unit, but that's not going to work here because that would turn off the mentor bonus from Udyr, and I don't want to do that. So we'll just put the Gangplank on the board. Now what I should have done is as soon as I realized I was playing through the Kaisa, I should have grabbed another Supreme Cell unit and just held on to them. Because like even if it was just a Kennen, putting Kennen on the board would put Supreme Cell trait in play for Kaisa, and that would help her a lot. These items that I have also are not really the ideal items for Kaisa. She's more of an AD caster than an auto attacker. So like these items are intended more for an auto attacker. They're certainly playable. They're not terrible, but they're not the best items for Kaisa. Still, if I had Supreme Cells in, even Supreme Cells 2 would give her, what, isn't it like 25% damage amp or something like that? What is Supreme Cell 2? Supreme Cell 2 is 12% damage amp, but it would also execute enemies below 10% health, and that would be nice as well. So anyway, for the time being, just kind of chilling here, just like waiting to see. I've got the power-up snack, and I'm going to get a component anvil here. I'll take the sword down for the sword. That allows me to make the Sterix on Udyr, which is one of his key items. And I have this other power-up here, so I need to run this power-up. I was like, you know, if I could somehow get Colossal for Udyr, that would be really, really nice. If I could look to find that power-up. So I'm going to need to try to fish for that. And let's go ahead and wait. I was looking for Darius here, but do not have the Darius. Did I remember to grab the power up? I think that I did here on this round. I did pick it up. All right, so looking at the different. Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out what other unit I wanted to play here. If there was anything better than the Gangplank, but I didn't really have anything that was better than the Gangplank that I could play here. So yeah, I guess I decided I would put the Vi in because I had 2 out of 3 Vis. Actually, a little hard to hit Vi 3-star because this, or Vi 2-star because this other person has Vi 3-star. Somebody has the Knuckle Dusters Vi. Also, by the way, you might have noticed I did not pick a power up there. I was in the middle of some kind of a conversation with Rienzo, but that's kind of bad. Not picking the power up there is actually pretty bad. So anyway, we have, what is it, a Crystal Gambit player here. And then they also are playing through a Mauls in the back line. Yeah, don't have enough to beat that yet. So my board is just kind of like, it's not the worst in the lobby. You can see I'm like winning about half of these rounds, losing about half of these rounds. I don't feel like my board is especially strong. The big issue is I really need to get to level 8 so I can play Ashe, and so I can also theoretically play Udyr as a Colossal unit. So I really do need to use my power up. And I need to try to find something here. Again, ideally I'd put in another Duelist unit, but the only Duelist units I'm missing are Ashe, and then Lee Sin when Lee Sin takes the Duelist stance. And I'm not likely to see Lee Sin or Ashe on level 6. So yeah, okay, yeah, power snacks. Let's go ahead and pull this. And oh, Colossal's there. Colossal's actually there. Holy cow, that's what I was looking for. So what does Colossal do? Well, it's basically the Colossus units back from, what was it, set 6, I think was the one that had this. The units take up 2 slots, so also like the dragons from what's set 7, also like the dragons, but they get a whole bunch of extra stats. They gain extra health, they gain extra damage resistance, and oh, by the way, we're going to trade an item component here because Rienzo can use a rod. I cannot use a rod. I don't need rods. This is actually something we're trying to do more often in our double up games because you really should go ahead and like trade components. So yeah, I traded him for a sword. He didn't need a sword, and I didn't need that. So anyway, I will send the Janna. He's trying to get protectors for his Cogmal team. Note that I have not been seeing Cogmals. And I'm going to go ahead and make the Deathblade for Kaisa, which is a pretty good Kaisa item. And I could go ahead and slam the Spirit Visage for Udyr. I was like, you know what? Let's do this. It's not like his absolute best item, but it's pretty darn good. And if I can now look to make Titan's Resolve for his last item, I'll be very pleased with the items he has. So yeah, I have 1-star Udyr. I still have 1-star Udyr, but he's got that Colossus power up. So now he gets, I think he gets 900 bonus health from Colossal trait. For Colossal power up, excuse me. And he also gets, I think, 10% damage reduction. So he's getting damage reduction from the power-up. He's getting damage reduction from Juggernaut trait. He can get more damage reduction if we can get 6 Duelist in. Like, there's just a lot that he can do here. All right, we also do have our last power-up here, and I have this adaptive style. On attack, Duelist gain 2 attack damage and ability power, stacking up to 15 times. So my units now, like, it's like everybody has a Kraken Slayer on them. Let me see if I can find the actual description of that, because I went by that one pretty fast, and honestly, I don't really know precisely what this one does. I just know it's a stacking augment for Duelist trait, but let's see if we can find this one. What was that one called again? Here it is, adaptive style. On attack, Duelist gain 2 attack damage and ability power, stacking up to 15 times. Duelist tanks instead gain 2 armor and magic resistance. So on Udyr, who's a Duelist tank, he's going to get 2 armor and magic resistance every time that he attacks. So it's basically like he has a Titan's Resolve already. And there I was able to hit another Udyr, so I have the Udyr 2-star. So yeah, this was a really good augment. This is about the best augment I could hope for, given that I'm playing Vertical Duelist here. Very, very good augment. So now not only are we stacking attack speed with every attack, we're also stacking AD and AP as well. By the way, it's also worthwhile for me to remember, I have investment strategy from back in the early game. Yeah, every unit that's on the board is stacking up, what? I get 5 interest, 5 times 7, 35 health per round. I mean, and that does work on non-combat rounds. It does work on minion rounds as well. So that's, that's pretty good. That is stacking up over time, so Udyr's getting more health every round. Like, the Kaisa and the Kale have been on the board for a long time. So they've been stacking up quite a bit of health here. Now, if I can just find Ashe and Lee Sin, start stacking them up as well. Oh, and I also put, I actually put Jarvan in my team planner here. I actually meant to put Set. I need a Juggernaut for Udyr. So I actually wanted to play Set, but the problem is a lot of people are playing Set in this lobby, so going to cause me problems to find them. I actually got the Set and the Jarvan confused there. So anyway, I still haven't found Ashe yet. Like, I'm still playing through the Kaisa. Definitely could have put like a Darius or a Kennen on the board instead of the Gangplank so that I could have gotten Supreme Cells in play. But yeah, now we're trying to get through this stupid Malphite on this crew board. And what was I was trying to put the Lulu in my team planner here. I was like, where is the Lulu? I can't seem to find her. So I just put Cog in there as my team loses in the background. Like I said, my team right now just needs Ashe like super, super duper badly because 6 Duelists is just such a huge spike for my board. We'll get that damage reduction in play. And look at this. I'm actually first pick of the Carousel. I didn't think we were in that much trouble, but apparently we are in quite a bit of trouble. We're only on 41 HP here, so we're not in great shape. But this gives me a Lee Sin, so now I can take out my worst Duelist, which is probably the Kale. I can just replace with Lee Sin, and I can give him the Duelist stance. Or for the moment, I can actually just play Lee Sin for 6 Duelists until I find Ashe. So that'll work too. And then I can look to start itemizing the Lee Sin as my secondary carry, because none of the other Duelists are really that great. I mean, the Viego could be okay, but I don't really want to play through the Viego. Anyway, we'll put the Lee Sin on the board, give him the Duelist stance. Now we just need Ashe. We need Ashe desperately on this board. Oh, and she pops up right away, so thank goodness. Yeah, we'll take the Kale out. There's a Lulu. I can hold that for Rienzo as he tries to get towards Cog 3-star. Let's move these items over to Ashe, and we need to move the power up over to Ashe as well. Now, do I remember to do that? I'm not sure if I remember to do that or not. Yeah, we'll sell Kale. Poor Kale. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, I don't need Jarvan. It's not Jarvan that I need. It's Set that I need. But I think it takes me a while before I remember to update this in my team planner. And I do need to move this power up, but you can see it's too late. I still have the power up on the Kaisa. Still, now that I have Ashe and now that I have 6 Duelists in, again, it's just a huge spike for my board. Every single Duelist unit will attack faster. Again, we're stacking 10% attack speed per auto instead of, 7% before. But the big thing is that damage reduction. And look, even 1-star Ashe does 6,200 damage on this board. It would be nice if I could get some armor or magic resistance shred. I guess mostly armor shred because this board doesn't really deal magic damage. But if I could get some armor shred, that would actually be really nice. And there's another Jar. Like, what is with all these Jarvans? I guess no one's playing them. But let's go ahead. We're going to swap this power up here. And I was like, bullet hell. File 30. What did I take? The bullet hell or double strike? They're both pretty solid here. I'll take the bullet hell. Fire 30% more projectiles with your abilities. Ashe's ability is that she fires 8 arrows. And by the way, there's the 3-star Cog. So I guess I don't need to hold Lulu's for Rienzo. Fortunately, he was able to hit. And what is with all these Jarvans? Seriously. But Ash's ability is when her mana bar fills up, she fires 8 projectiles. So she gets 30% more than that. I guess that means she gets like 11 projectiles. Is that right? Yeah, I think she gets 11 projectiles instead of 8. So that's pretty nice. And they hit a good portion of the board. Yeah, you can see she does quite a bit of damage. Look at all those arrows she's firing. Oh my god. Do they synergize with Kraken Slayer? I don't think they do. I think the Kraken Slayer only synergizes with her auto attacks. But stacking AD is really good on Ashe because every one of those arrows is going to benefit from the stacking AD. So it's one of the reasons why Kraken Slayer is like such an important item, and why Deathblade's a really good item as well. So I was able to hit the Ashe. Now the question is, I do have to get Ashe 2-star for my board, but do we want to try to go to level 9, or do we want to try to hit Ashe 2-star here? I think that we decided that well, at the very least, I need to get back up to 50 gold. But I think I decided to go to level 9 here because I already had the Ashe 1-star. Or do I roll here a little bit longer? I can't remember. It's been a couple days since I played this game. Maybe I should just watch and see what happened in the game instead of trying to predict what I was going to do and maybe making some bad predictions here. Anyway, so I was hoping I'd be able to pull a vest here, and I can pull a vest here. Excellent. That Yone would have been nice in some other games, but not this one. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do the Titan's Resolve. And that leaves me with a leftover Bloodthirster. I'll put it on Lee Sin. Bloodthirster's not a great item in the current makeup of the game. I decided I was going to roll a bit more because I think I was trying to hit Ashe 2-star. Because, there we go. And I get an Udyr coming over from Rienzo. All right, very quickly I go up to 7 Udyrs. And as soon as I get up to 7 Udyrs, it's obvious I want to try to roll for Ashe and also for Udyr. Although I think I stop here on 30 gold. So yeah, 2 more Udyrs, 2 more Ashes. I'd also really like to get a set so I can replace this this Vi that's been on my board for ages. But I just don't have another Juggernaut. And unfortunately, I've never been able to 2-star this unit because I just haven't seen it. Meanwhile, Ashe is firing away at the 3-star Swain over here on the Crystal Gambit board. I thought for sure I had no chance to win this round because after all, it's a 3-star Swain on a Crystal Gambit board. But wait, the Udyr is still alive. The Udyr is still alive. Yeah, we actually beat that board, which was very surprising to me. I actually want to get them out of the lobby because they're holding Ashes over there on their board. And I need to find Ashe for my board. They need it because they're playing Crystal Gambit. I need it because I'm playing Duelist. We also have a gift round here. And Rienzo, let's see what he takes. The 3-4 cost champs? Okay, he took the 3-4 cost. Well, there's Vi 2-star. Okay, that's not really the unit I wanted there. Yeah, unfortunately, that person that's on low health just hit the 2-star Ashe, so those Ashes are out of the pool. But I'm on 8. I'm on 8 of these Udyrs now. Now, can I find one more Ashe? I believe that Rienzo has an Ashe that he can send me. Or do I roll it down further? Oh, I think Rienzo was holding a couple of these units. There's a Lee Sin. That's not bad. So, like, look how my board is, like, really close. Yeah, I rolled it all the way down because my board is really close to getting much, much stronger. I'm on Ashe pair, I'm on Lee Sin pair, and I'm on 8 out of 9 Udyrs. So I'm so close to getting a giant power spike here. So it's worthwhile to roll a little bit more gold and see if I can hit some of these items. And then if I can hit them, then I can go back into econ mode. Now, there is a trade-off here. Obviously, I'm getting less interest, and that does mean my investment strategy is not going to be stacking up additional health here. But, like, also look at the lobby. Like, look how low a lot of these teams are. There's not a ton of time left in this game. It's more important for the board to be strong right now and for us to, like, not bleed out more health here. Oh, okay. Over there, Rienzo has the Udyr, so he can send me the Udyr for Udyr 3-star. And then I just need to get the Ashe. And then after that, then it's probably time to go to level... that's right. He sent me Duplicator. That's right. For the gift round, I had the chance to get Duplicators. I was like, yeah, just send me the Duplicators. That's right. He had an Ashe and he had a Lee Sin. An Ashe and an Udyr. And he said, I can send either one of them. And I was like, why don't you just send me the... why don't you just send me the Duplicators, and then you can send Ashe, and then I'll hit all my units. I'm actually going to burn the other 2 Duplicators. I don't need. There's nothing else to duplicate, so I just toss them on Udyr and then sell them for 6 gold. Because what else do I need? I mean, do I need to go? Am I going to go for like Viego 3-star? It's not happening at this stage of the game. So I might as well just burn them for extra gold, because anything else I'd want to duplicate is going to be a 4 or a 5 cost unit, and the lesser champion duplicators don't work on them. But now I have the 3-star Udyr. I mean, he is just an absolute monster with this board. He hits the 25 Titan stacks really, really fast. And once that happens, he can't be crowd controlled. And like, look how much he heals. He's punching people for, I don't know how much, but quite a bit. And then that just means that like you can't get through the Udyr fast enough to kill the Ashe back there. and then Ash does another 8,000 damage or whatever. So like that's the logic behind how this board works, and like it seems like we're kind of on cruise control right now. The danger is some of these other boards are going to start spiking because some of these teams were like greeting it out to level 9, and like now they're going to go 9 and spike their boards, whereas I just rolled it down here on 8. So it's kind of important right now that I try to get in a position where I can get up to level 9 as well. And I just have to like go back into econ mode. I know the Ash is going to come over from Rienzo in a round or two. Rienzo's board is also spiked off hitting the Cogmaw 3-star. And here I decided to take the Gargoyle Stoneplate because I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this on Udyr because I have item removers. There's my 2-star Ash. Thank you very much. Because I was like, I might as well just take this and put the perfect items on the Udyr. Again, Titans plus Gargoyle Stoneplate plus Sterix is seen as being the perfect items. Now, that does leave me with a leftover Spirit Massage that I don't really have a new use for, but I was like, okay, I'll just put this on the Lee Sin. I mean, it's not a good Lee Sin item, but it makes him a little bit tankier. I mean, who else am I going to put it on? Viego? That's even worse. A Vi that doesn't even have Duelist trait? That seems much worse. So even though this is not the item I want for Lee Sin, I'll just go ahead and grab it anyway. I mean, it was that or take like a Hand of Justice for Lee or something, which would be fine, but not amazing. Anyway, if you're wondering why I didn't go for Viego 3-star, it's this player. This player right here has Viego 3. So I knew I was not going to see Viegos, and it wasn't worthwhile rolling for them. I needed to save my money to concentrate on the units that were really important, and those were Udyr and Ash. I did not have the time to sink like a whole bunch of money into playing. Anyway, there, we'll go ahead and put in the set on the board. I didn't have time to sink money into trying to 3-star Viego, who I'm not going to itemize and who is just on this board as a trait bot. So anyway, I'm on a long winning streak here. I think I've won like 5 or 6 rounds in a row. But I am concerned about this crew board. 6 rounds in a row. This crew board looks really, really strong. There's the person who took the aura farming in the early game, and they played crew into a guaranteed 2-star TF, which was a smart thing to do. I've actually got them this round here. So they already had the guaranteed 2-star TF. They've also managed to pick up a Blighting Jewel, which I don't know is an especially good item on TF, but it's still an artifact item. It gives a lot of stats. They've also hit the 3-star Janna, and they've also 3-starred every crew unit except TF. So they have 3-star Malphite, 3-star Sivir, 3-star Ziggs, and they also have the 3-star Janna back there. So yeah, the Udyr tanked a long time, but ultimately they beat me, and it wasn't especially close. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I guess we don't just like auto win this lobby. We still have to actually knock these teams out, and there's not a lot of health left in this lobby. 18 health for us, 10 health for the one team, 9 health for the other team. Very, very tight lobby here. So I need to get to level 9, and I really need to find one more Lee Sin, and then I can just play like a random unit for my last unit. Probably just a random 5 cost, depending on what I hit. But I really, really would like to hit another Lee Sin to 2-star him, because he is the other unit that I'm itemizing here. And he can turn into like a secondary carry. He's never going to do as much damage as Ash, but he can still be a decent secondary carry. Over there, has Rienzo hit 3-star Nico? Yes, he has, so we don't need that unit. Don't need to say that unit. And then I see a Zyra pop. I'm like, okay, you know what? This will cost me all of my econ, but like it's 18 health, 10 health, 9 health. I need my board to get stronger, so let's just level and play the Zyra right now. And then I get a Thief's Glove here? I was like, cool, Thief's Glove, okay. Let's go ahead and slap that on somebody. The best unit is probably Kaisa, even though it's a little bit of an odd unit to put it on. Kaisa's going to survive in these fights and deal a decent amount of damage. I don't want to put it on Zyra because Zyra's not a duelist. She doesn't benefit from all the duelist stuff I'm stacking up. I don't want to put it on Viego because he's going to die too fast in these fights. I think Kaisa is actually the best unit to put this on. Now, the other unit I slotted in was Zyra. And again, I mostly slotted Zyra in just because that's the 5 cost I hit. But she's a very good support unit for this board. The big thing Zyra does is when she gets her cast off, she gives the whole team attack speed. I believe she gives 60% attack speed for the next 4 seconds. And that's really nice on the Duelist board, you see, as I lose to this Prodigy board, unfortunately. We drop down to 9 HP here, which is not great. It's going to give the Duelist board a whole big surge of attack speed, and then that's going to allow them to stack up their Duelist thing faster. And look at that. Wow. That was like, what, 4? I think I saw 3 Zyras in 4 shops there, something ridiculous. Okay, I'll take that. But like I said, she's going to give extra attack speed. What is her exact attack speed? I'll just look it up because I've got the, what's it called? The cheat sheet right here on my other screen. Let's see. When Zyra casts, let's see. She gives attack. Yeah, she gives a big attack speed bonus. And she also puts that plant on the board. I'm playing the plant up in the front row where it's basically an Alawi tentacle from set 10 because I just need more front line. Like, as good as Udyr is, I need more front line. I just need Ashe to survive in this fight. So anyway, I did slot Ashe over to the right-hand side. I wanted to be away from the Viego. Unfortunately for this player, Soul Fighter's just really bad in this patch. Like, it's just not a strong trait in this patch. So, I mean, they hit the 3-star Viego, but, like, it's just not that good. So I'm going to come over to Rienzo's board, and together we're going to beat the crew player over there. And that's the board I was most concerned about. As I said, I think that board's the strongest in the lobby. Well, I do find another set, so I can lock for that. If for some reason, if we lose this round, then I can try to buy that. I still really need another Lee Sin. And because there's so little time left in this lobby, like 2 other teams are on 1 HP, we're on 9 HP, I'm actually going to item remover the Thief's Glove off of the Kaisa because she rolled tank items this round. I was like, you know what? Let's just get the Thief's Glove and let's put this on an actual tank. Like I rolled, what is it? I rolled a Bramble Vest, Steadfast Heart. I was like, all right, you know what? We'll just put this on the set. I mean, those items are going to be better there. I have another item remover for next round. There's probably only 2 more rounds left in this game regardless. So let's put this item on somebody who it does more good on. Anyway, who am I up against? Oh, I'm up against the crew board. All right, I believe this is the strongest board in the lobby. So this is a very good test for my board. Can we beat this one? We have to get through that Malphite, and we have to get through that Shen up on the front lines first. So anyway, it looks like we've gotten through everything except the Malphite. Come on, Ashe. Come on, Ashe. Zyra got off another cast. Ashe has so much attack speed. Ooh, once Ashe hits the back line, they're going down. Boom. I have nothing left on my board, but it's enough to win. That's going to knock out the crew player. And then I can hop over to Rienzo's board and we knock out the other team. And boom, that's it. We're going to win the lobby on a very tight 9 HP. This one was not an easy win. This was a close, tight win. But it was very rewarding because I felt like I was able to beat the strongest board in the lobby there at the end of the game. Now, I was a little lucky to hit 3 Zyras and like 4 shops on level 9. But I will take it. I will take it. Anyway, like I said, I just mostly wanted to showcase this team composition, and I'm really glad that I got to do so. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this game. Thanks to Rienzo for joining me. Until next time, take care, folks. Have a great week, and I'll see you again soon.